Peace. This is about R. Kelly pleads not guilty to federal charges of kidnapping and sexual exploitation of a child in New York. And you know what? He can keep singing that song all he wants. He knows what he did, and this is why he's trying to cover it up and say, "Oh, I never did this to these girls." Yes, he did, because the women came out and told their story. And of course, here's R. Kelly himself in the video, who is facing charges there in New York City right now. R. Kelly pleaded not guilty to a slew of charges in federal court in Brooklyn, New York on Friday, including counts of racketeering, kidnapping, forced labor, and sexual exploitation of a child. And so now he's pleaded not guilty, and that's but he knows what he did. And of course, there's racketeering, kidnapping, forced labor, and sexual exploitation of a child. First of all, taking girls across states for sex is illegal, first of all. Second of all, he thinks he can just buy his way out of this one, but he's not going to because he's broke, so there's no way of him getting anywhere with it. The judge ordered that the singer remain in custody pending his trial. So he's going to remain in custody. There's no bail, no nothing. So there's nothing Joycelyn Savage and Azriel Cleary can do about getting him out of prison, because they're not going to help him this time. They just used him to get their careers going. Kelly was charged last month in the Eastern District of New York in an indictment that also accused him of violating the Mann Act by coaxing and transporting women and girls across state lines to engage in illegal sexual activity as far back as 1999. So the Mann Act, it was to protect the girls of taking them across the state lines and that. But R. Kelly violated that Mann Act by coaxing and transporting women and girls across state lines to engage in illegal sexual activity, and it goes way back as 1999. So what he did is what he did wrong, and he knows better, or no, he didn't know any better. So this is why he's got these charges on him too. The indictment details alleged incidents in 4 states: Illinois, Connecticut, California, and New York. 5 Jane Does are referred throughout the document, including 3 minors. And so there was 4 states he did this to: Illinois, Connecticut, California, and New York. Those are the 4 states he did the illegal Mann Act. And the Mann Act is there for a reason, to protect the girls from being taken across state lines. The indictment also alleges Kelly, 52, exposed at least one person to a sexually transmitted disease without disclosing it. Kelly has vehemently denied allegations of sexual misconduct in the past. So R. Kelly never disclosed anything about his diseases, not one thing. He gave one girl a sexually transmitted disease, and he never disclosed it, allegedly. And of course, Kelly has denied allegations of sexual misconduct in the past. So, with that acquittal the first time, he bought his way out of that one. He paid money for the judge to acquit him. And of course, here's R. Kelly himself, who is guilty, even though he pleaded not guilty for the charges in New York City. On Friday, prosecutor Elizabeth Geddes argued for Kelly to be denied bail, citing allegations he had committed obstruction crimes while out on bail during a 2002 case involving child pornography charges. And so Elizabeth Geddes argued for Kelly to be denied bail. In other words, don't give him bail at all. And this, he doesn't need to be out of bail. out on bail because, and of course, while on bail during a 2002 case involving child pornography charges that he did commit. At that time, Geddes alleged Kelly paid off and intimidated witnesses such that they did not appear to testify. So R. Kelly had paid off these witnesses. He intimidated them. He forced them to cover up for him, saying, oh, he didn't do such thing when he knows he did. He lied his way out of it. Defense attorney Doug Anton argued that Geddes' claims were simply allegations and that Kelly always appeared in court. So if R. Kelly appeared in court then back then, why hasn't he appeared in court too much this year? Because they're claiming he can't read or write. That's a bogus, lame excuse. And of course, regardless, U.S. District Doug Anton argued that Geddes' claims were simply allegations. In other words, he's trying to say, oh, she has no proof of anything when there's a lot of court documents on him. Regardless, U.S. District Magistrate Judge Stephen Tiscoin said he was extremely troubled by the allegations of obstruction. So now they're saying that he was troubled by the allegations of obstruction. Extremely troubled, really? And he did what he did to these girls? And that's why they all came forward and told their story of what R. Kelly had done to him? The singer, who was already in custody in Illinois, landed at New Jersey's Teterboro Airport from Chicago on Thursday and was transferred to Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York. His attorney, Steve Greenberg, told CNN, and of course, you can never trust CNN half the time because they're full of crap themselves. They lie as much as anybody else. But Steve Greenberg, I don't know what his problem is, but at least he's got something right. He was transferred to Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York. At least he's got something right. But other crap that he's done, other crap that Steve Greenberg is saying, I don't believe nothing he says. He appeared in court Friday sporting a full beard and wearing orange sneakers, an orange t-shirt, and a navy short-sleeved prison uniform, flanked by his attorneys. The R&B singer occasionally glanced around and nodded at his supporters in the courtroom. So in other words, the supporters are on his side. I wouldn't want to be on his side at all because, he does not deserve support. And I have a feeling that Joycelyn Savage and Azriel Clary were there at the court with him. But you know what? He's still not going to get out of jail. So no matter what, a handful of women gathered together in a prayer circle outside the courtroom shortly before Kelly's arraignment. Some wore shirts that said "Free R. Kelly" and "Unmute R. Kelly." What's the sense of doing that? Unmute R. Kelly. If you're gonna, first of all, people want R. Kelly muted, and as long as you if you could, all right, if you want to go and mute R. Kelly, mute all the people that worked with him, mute them as well. But free R. Kelly, no, not gonna happen because they are going to be looking like fools, saying, "Oh, free R. Kelly." No, not gonna happen. So them shirts that the women are wearing, you just throw them out. One of the women, 50-year-old Ruthie Castro of Pennsylvania, told CNN she believes the singer is innocent. Now, why would she even think that the singer is innocent? She's lying as well. R. Kelly is not innocent. He's a liar. He manipulates girls to get what he wants. He held them against their will in his house. They were tied up, locked in rooms, and everything else. I've always supported him for many years, she said. Oh, of course she would support his pedophile ass. I wouldn't even want to support him at all. The federal case in New York is one of several the singer faces. He was arrested in Chicago last month on two separate federal grand jury indictments in Illinois and New York. The indictments allege Kelly recruited women for sex, persecuted people to conceal that he had sexual contact with teenage girls, and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars buying back missing videotapes that showed him having sex with teenage girls. Yeah, so he bought all them tapes back to get them sex tapes back. And of course, him having sex with teenage girls. So those tapes are definitely out there. He was paying hundreds of thousands of dollars buying back missing videotapes. Evidence is there. It's just that he is not taking these charges seriously because he keeps saying, "Oh, I'm not guilty," when he knows he is. Kelly pleaded not guilty last month to 13 federal charges stemming from the separate federal indictments in Illinois. A judge there had denied him bail because he is considered a flight risk and a danger to the community. Well, R. Kelly already gave up his passport, so where is he going to fly to? Nowhere. He's also a danger to the community. Yeah, when it comes to young girls that are underage. Kelly faces one count of conspiracy to receive child pornography, 2 counts of receiving child pornography, 4 counts of producing child pornography, 5 counts of enticement of a minor to engage in criminal sexual activity, and 1 count of conspiracy to obstruct justice, according to the indictment released last month in the Northern District of Illinois. So yeah, he has got charges beyond charges, plus what's in New York City, that's more charges. So he's definitely getting his day in court, all right. The indictment accused Kelly of videotaping himself having sex with at least 4 girls under the age of 18 beginning in 1998. Yeah, so that's what the indictment is accusing Kelly of, videotaping himself with sex with at least 4 girls. So you know how sickening that is? You gotta videotape yourself having sex with them, underage girls, and you think them tapes are not gonna be released after that? Kelly is due back in a Chicago court on September 4th for a status hearing on those charges. So he's got to go back to court on that one September 4th. In February, Kelly pleaded not guilty to Illinois state charges, 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse involving 4 alleged victims, including 3 who prosecutors say were underage girls. The charges, a Class 2 felony, span from 1998 to 2010. If convicted, Kelly faces 3 to 7 years in prison for each count. So yeah, there's 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse involving 4 alleged victims. So he got charges for those, and of course a Class 2 felony spanned from 1998 to 2010. So it goes way back for what R. Kelly has done. He posted the $100,000 bond, but was arrested and jailed again in March for failure to pay his ex-wife $161,000 in child support. So after he got out of jail the first time, he went right back to jail again for not paying child support. But now that he's got that all paid off, that's one less thing for him to deal with. But I know he's got to pay child support sometime this month, for the month of August. But who knows if who knows who's going to pay that for him? But, I mean, might as well sell his car, sells anything that's of value to give to Andrea. A grand jury later indicted him in May on 11 additional charges pertaining to one of the four accusers, including aggravated criminal sexual assault and criminal sexual assault. Yeah, so the grand jury later did indict him in May. So he had 11 more charges against him. So that was a lot of charges. The singer has faced accusations of abuse, manipulation, and inappropriate encounters with girls and young women for more than 2 decades. So he's been doing this for 20 years, manipulating them, inappropriate encounters with girls. This is what he's done to them. He brainwashed them. And of course, the singer has faced accusations of abuse as well. In 2002, Cook County, Chicago authorities indicted Kelly on 21 charges related to child pornography. A jury acquitted him of all charges when the case was tried in 2008. So the Cook County, Chicago authorities indicted Kelly on 21 charges. So plus the 11 charges, plus the 10 charges. So that's a lot of charges he's facing. Now there's more charges he's facing in New York City, so that's even more on him. The documentary series Surviving R. Kelly that aired on Lifetime revived public interest in the case against Kelly. So it was revived, and I know a lot of people have watched the 6-part series of Surviving R. Kelly, and that was one big documentary to watch because each week you had to go like 1 or 2 hours into it. So, and it's a lot of interviews were in that. The girls came out with their story, told them what happened, and of course, R. Kelly is definitely not the type of person to be around. He's just plain sick as he is right now. Leave your comments below. I am out.